Welcome students. Let's learn about the very important topic international trade. This is the subject should be learned by all the students who need to trade with other countries and how the countries are trading with other countries. Since because the world is globalized, every student should know and get the knowledge about the international trade. Let's learn each topic which consists in the international trade. The first one is we are going to see is overview of the international trade. So what is international trade? International trade refers to the exchange of products and services from one country to another. In other words, it is just imports and exports. Imports, you already know what is imports means. Imports means flowing into a country from abroad, and exports means goods flowing out of the country. So international trade is imports and export which is happening in the country. Next, why a student should learn an international trade? So that is the objectives of learning international trade. The first one is different monetary systems. Monetary systems means each country will be having different currencies and the value of the currency will be different from each other. So to know that we should learn international trade. The next one is independent trade policies. Every country will be having their own trade policies like free trade policies, restricted trade policies. So which country we are going to trade, we should know the trade policies of that country to trade with. The next one is degree of mobility resources. So degree of mobility resources is an economic term. Mobility of resources means like the cheap labor or land capital from which country it is, we can get from that country rather than from the domestic country. Next one is social political conditions. So political condition is the government in which that countries are involved. For example, America is a capitalistic country and China is a communist country and India is a mixed economy. Like that, each country will vary in their own political conditions. Likewise, people's culture also will vary. So for knowing all those things, you need to learn international trade. So let's see what are the advantages of doing international trade. So instead of trading in the domestic, if you go for international trade, what are the benefits each people, each individual will get, we can see. First one is it provides a foundation for international growth. So from the national level, a businessman or woman can grow to the international when the international trade is done. The second thing is international trade improves financial performance. So when you trade in domestic, you will be trading in only single currency, and when you go to other countries, you can trade in many other currencies and get more profit. Next one is it spreads out the risk of a brand. So when the brand is trading in the national level, uh, there will be a instability in the market and the brand may get disappear. When it is international trade, the brand will grow to various different countries, so that risk of the brand will be spread out. International trade encourages market competitiveness. So when many businessmen go international, the market will be very competitive and the competitiveness, and it will be a constructive thing to get more profit also. So next one is international exchange rates can be beneficial to the business. So the exchange rates means, for example, $1 equal to 75 Indian rupees. So this is just a guess. And also €1 equal to 85 Indian rupee. So when your customer pay $1, you'll get 75 Indian rupees, and when customer of UK pay €1, and you'll get 85 international rupees. So this exchange rates will help you to get much more profits. Next one is revenue streams. So revenue streams will be the insurance will be given to your goods when it is traded international level, and it will protect you from other uncertainties that is happening in the international market. It can be used a way to get around high levels of domestic competition. So when the domestic competition is very high level, the businessman can think about the international business so that the competition will be little more less. So the next one is we are going to say about the barriers of international trade. Barriers means restrictions of international trade. Why the international trades are restricted? So it can be done in two ways. One is tariff barriers, another one is trade embargo. Tariff barriers means trade becomes more difficult and expensive. Trade embargo means it prevents trade completely. Okay, so these two are the barriers of international trade. There are other certain barriers like we are going to see in the coming topic. Tariff barriers. As we see, tariff barriers means it is a expensive, that is the taxes levied on the imported goods will be more. The next topic will be non-tariff barriers. As tariff barriers involves in money, monetary resources, non-tariff barriers involves in regulations. For example, a country may say only organic goods are allowed inside the countries, so that the exporter should go for manufacturing organic products rather than using some chemicals. The next one is quotas. So quotas means only limited number of imports will be allowed in that particular country. Next one is voluntary export restraint, which means only the limited number of imports and with a particular country. So certain country can only export a certain amount of goods to that particular country. Subsidies. A domestic subsidy from government can give the local firm a competitive advantage. Subsidies means the domestic firm will be encouraged to produce by themselves rather than importing from some other countries. Next one is embargo. A complete ban or imports from certain countries. So this country should not trade anything with that particular country is known as embargo. So let's see the real world examples of such trade barriers. For example, Chinese imports tariffs. So Chinese have lot of import tariffs to import many goods from the other countries. For luxurious goods, it has only very little tariff amount because it has to encourage the consumers, that is citizens of China, to spend more. Okay, then next one is 50% tariff on imports of washing machines. So the US customers are buying more South Korean products of LG and Samsung. They are not buying Whirlpool. So Whirlpool, who is a US manufacturer, so levied the government about the brought into the government about the import of South Korean products. So the government levied 50% tariff on import of washing machines from other countries, which means when LG washing machine cost around 50,000 and it has to put another 15,000, so that 30,000 will be the amount which should be paid by the customer. Customs duties post Brexit. Brexit means British British exit. The UK exited from the Euro Union, and that is known as Brexit. So in that case, UK has their own export and import policies. Okay. Next one is quotas of low tariff food. So the European Union has a quota for allowing certain number of food items to enter without attracting tariff. So VER, which is voluntary restraint agreement, we saw already. So it is limited to the certain number of quantities to that country. Next one is subsidies. So subsidies, like European Union encourages its farmers to have subsidies to increase their agriculture exports rather than imports. Embargoes, we saw already. It is a complete ban of a country's product. So US imposed a trade embargo on Cuba, which was strictly enforced. Okay, thank you.